It's day number 15 of Vlogmas and it's time for me just to gush about some really pretty books that I own. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel, thank you for being here today. Today's video is a Vlogmas video. I am posting a new video every day in December up to and including Christmas Day, and I am sort of alternating between doing theatrical content and bookish content, and we are back on the books today, and I'm going to talk about some of the prettiest books that I acquired this year. I did this video last year and we all know that I am a sucker for a pretty book, so I love having an opportunity just to talk about really pretty things that I acquired this year. And I'm not going to talk too much else because, yeah, I'm just going to show you some beautiful books. That is pretty much the only thing I'm doing in this video. I'm not going to talk about the synopsis of books. I'm not going to try and sell them to you. I'm just going to be like, oh, look how pretty it is. There you go. So let's start that, shall we? So we're going to start off with ones that have probably got like the least customizations of these ones, but I just happen to really like this style of this book. Well, they're actually the American releases of these books, but I already own the UK editions. It seems like we're working towards doing this for all of this author's work, and I'm very excited to have this new collection of them. The books I'm talking about are Loveless and I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. So Loveless actually came out first. This is what the cover looks like. We have got Georgia, Pip and Rooney on the front, some more on the back as well, and this illustration is actually done by Alice himself. And then underneath you do have, I don't know if you can see it on there, you have embossing that says Loveless, and I just really like the art style. I'm always happy to see more of Alice's artwork. And then we have I Was Born for This, and I think I might actually prefer this one, even though Loveless is the book of Alice's that is my favourite. But I Was Born for This, I just love seeing the band actually drawn. So this is a front cover where you've got our two main characters, Angel and Jimmy, and then we've got the rest of the band and the friends on the back as well. And then on this one underneath you've got the embossing that says I Was Born for This, and then like the control buttons for the music as well. It's like it looks like you're listening to it on Spotify. And yeah, I just really like these editions, like I said, because I like seeing more of Alice's artwork. And we're gonna get these editions of Nick and Charlie, the Heartstopper novella, and Solitaire. So basically what we're waiting for now is Radio Silence, and I love Radio Silence, so I really hope we end up getting a matching edition for these ones because these look very pretty on my shelves. The next one I'm going to show you isn't going to look as pretty on its own, but I can't get the full set down at the minute because they're too big. I will take a photo and put it on the screen somewhere in a minute, but basically the books are the Bridgerton series. This is the Illumicrate special edition, so it is pretty anyway. All of them have got obviously different designs on the front. Each of the books is a different colour as well. They've got sprayed edges that go with the theme of it. They're not like the most fancy books that Illumicrate's ever done, like they've not got fancy like end papers or anything, but what makes this set special is the spine. So you can see it on there. It's like a window. It's like a windows of a house and it's a gate. But when you line all these books up together, they make a house. I'm gonna put a picture here. This is why I love this book set. It looks so pretty on top of my shelves, and I've only actually read the first one in this series so far, and I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I do have high hopes for the rest of the series, and I really hope I love it because like these just look stunning. And even if I don't love it, like, will I want to get rid of them? No, of course I won't, but yeah, it's just so pretty. Let's move on to some classics, which is not always what I say. These are actually classics that I've read both of them and enjoy both of them as well though. Like, I do like classics, it's just that I don't necessarily reach for them that often. But I have some vouchers from some points that are built up from buying things on Litjoy before, and they had some special editions of two of my favourite classics, so I decided to treat myself to those. That was a mouthful to say. I've had to refilm that like 3 times just to get the author's name right, so I'm not going to say it again. But I really love this book. It's actually possibly my favourite classic, and I've got like 2 editions of it already, but I never found one that I like really loved, and this could be it because it is absolutely stunning. So we've got this beautiful slipcase which has got obviously the Art Deco style. It's set in the 1920s. It makes sense. It's got a quote from the book on the back as well, and then we have got, this is a front cover, all of his many party guests around him. We then got the back, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a silhouette of Daisy. It's got gilded edges because of course it had to be gilded. Again, it's set in the 20s, it makes sense. And then more sort of Art Deco style. But my favourite thing in these books is the illustrations. So this is the only one I'm going to show you because I think some of the others are spoilers, but this is Jay Gatsby looking out at the green light, and yeah, I just really love the illustrations in this. I just think it's a very well put together special edition. So that is number 1 of the classics that I got from Litjoy. The other one I got is one of my other favourite classics. This is like more of a classic. It's like 100+ years back from when Gatsby came out. But this one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So we've got Elizabeth on the front, we've got Darcy on the back. It's also in a beautiful slipcase. And I mean, just look at it. Like, look at that. it is so stunning. Again, we've got Elizabeth and Darcy on there. We've got Pemberley on the back as well. And it's so pretty. More gilded pages. And then there's a quote on the end pages. It's the opening line of the book. It's a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. And then we again have got illustrations, but these ones are absolutely stunning with the gold running through them as well. Yeah, just look. It's so pretty. The light is drowning this out, but it's gorgeous. Anyway, I could just gush about these particular books for a while, so I'm just going to swiftly move on. So I get a lot of books from subscription boxes, and when I get like the special edition ones that you have to order separate, I expect them to be stunning, like I'm paying extra money for those ones. The ones in the monthly boxes are very like hit and miss, so I never have any like ridiculous expectations for them, but every so often they do one and I'm just so pleasantly surprised. And this year, that was very, very early on, right at the beginning of the year, when we got the Illumicrate edition of This Woven Kingdom by Tara Maffei. So it came as a naked hardcover, there's no just jacket on there, and obviously we've got this beautiful foiling. Like the foiling itself is stunning just because of how light reflecting it is, but then like this pattern work that they've done is just, I love it so much. And then that sort of carries on round the back. But what is most stunning about this is that it also carries on to the edges. Like just look at those. It's so pretty. It does have end papers as well, and it's signed, but it is all about those edges and that foiling for me on this one. I'm like, I haven't read this book yet, and I live in fear that I will read it and hate it and then not want to keep this pretty edition of this book, because like I like pretty things and I just want it on my shelf. We seem to be having a theme of like foiling and things. I promise it will change a little bit in a minute. We're not going to move away from subscription boxes for a while, because obviously that's where most of my pretty books come from these days. But the next one is a set of books I got, and it is the Madeline Miller set, again from Illumicrate. So it comes in a gold foiled slipcase. It's got like a Grecian urn on there. Obviously it's Greek mythology retellings. This sort of pattern makes perfect sense. It says Madeline Miller down the back, and then for the actual books you've got quotes on each of the spines for both Circe and the Song of Achilles, and then the actual front of the books is basically the covers but printed on in gold foiling, and I just really love them. Again, they're not like the most lavish special editions they've done, like they've got the end papers but there's no like sprayed edges or anything like that. It's quite a simple set, but it's just very, very beautiful, and I think it fits these books really well. The next one did come as part of a set, but I'm actually only going to show you one because you're balanced on the other one at the minute, and I don't want to move this camera because it's fallen multiple times already today, so I'm just leaving it where it is. But to be honest, the first one's the prettiest one anyway, so it's fine. I've actually acquired multiple editions of this book this year, but I actually missed out on this version of the book when it first went on sale, and then I managed to get a set of the two when they put the second one on sale, and that is the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. So this is the Illumicrate edition. Originally I had the Fairy Loot one and then just a standard cover. I am going to be getting rid of my Fairy Loot one because I don't need multiple copies of this book, and this one is just prettier. Like look at the holographicness on there. It is basically the original cover just with the holographic detail on there, and then you've got that as the edges. I don't know if people remember the Waterstone special edition of this book when it was supposed to look really pretty with like gold on this bit, but then it ended up just being this really ugly yellow colour. I was actually originally supposed to have that one, and for some reason accidentally ended up with the standard UK cover, and I was like, you know what, I don't really care about arguing for that because I didn't like that copy, and I'd not got this one because I knew it was coming in Fairy Loot, and I was like, I'll just stick with my Fairy Loot one, that'll be pretty. And it was just a bit like, it was okay, but it was a bit meh. And this one was stunning. So when they said that you could buy the two of them together, it just means that this one is not signed, it's digitally printed rather than hand signed. I'm fine with that because I just wanted the pretty book instead. So we've got that. We also do have artwork on the end papers. This is our 6 main characters, the Atlas 6 obviously, and then we've got another holographic detail on the naked hardcover as well. And yeah, it's just a really stunning set of books. The second one very much follows suit with the holographic cover, but it's just the cover for the second book with the holographic details, and then this on the side is like a lighter blue instead. But like I said, I'm not unbalancing this camera right now. We're actually going to move away from some book box books for a while. We're going to go to like regular special editions. We're going to start off with a Waterstone special edition, and this one is a book that's by an author that I really, really like, and it's one of their older books that's now been picked up by a major publisher, and I'm excited to read it, and I'm also just really excited to have this copy because it's beautiful. And it is Wolfsong by TJ Klune. So obviously this cover has been designed to fit in more with like House on the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, although it is a lot taller, which is really, really irritating. fascinating. But I do much prefer these covers to the original ones when it was, I don't know if it was indie published or self-pubbed, but whichever version it was, I much prefer these covers. And the very, very pretty thing about this set is that they've definitely tried to copy the Illumicrate Under the Whispering Door and House in the Cerulean Sea, because they did a similar thing with the edges. But just look at them. Look how pretty it like follows on from the picture, and I love it. It's very, very cute. I'm gonna hold it a bit closer. There we go. We know if I get a pretty sprayed edge, I'm happy. Like, everything else is like pretty just standard, but the sprayed edges make up for everything, so I'm happy. It is also signed, I should probably say that, but sprayed edge. And now we have a special edition of a book that I'm very happy that they've released this, because it was one of the only books by this author that I didn't have in hardback, so I'm glad that they're like releasing their backlist in a hardback now, and also because I really, really love this series, and it's a very pretty edition of it. It is This Savage Song by V. Schwab. So one, I absolutely love this cover. It's got August on there. August is my favourite character. I have looked at the cover for the second one, but I can't remember it properly, but I'm assuming it has Kate on there instead, because we've got two main characters in this series, so it makes sense. But this one is August, who is my favourite. So I like having him on the cover anyway, and also like the way that you've got like the music coming out of his violin but going into monsters. Like, it works so well for the story, as does the edges on this book, because they're all tally marks, which if you've read the book, this makes perfect sense. And when I saw these, I was like, yes, I need this book. I need it in my life immediately. And then we've got the like monster hand things as well on there, and then we've got the violin that's also a tally mark on here. It's just like, it feels like a lot of thought has been put into making this book match the story, and that's why I love it so much. Like, sometimes you get special editions and they've just like shoved a pattern on the sprayed edge that doesn't really have any relevance to the book whatsoever. This one feels like it's been made with this book in mind, and I really, really love it. So I have two more books, well, four technically, but like two more sets of books to talk about. And the next one, I could have picked one of two different copies of this, but I know that I have already talked about another copy of this book in a recent video that I put up at the end of November, so I thought I would show off this one instead, because I don't like show this one as much. The book is a book that I'm trying to fit in to like as many of these Vlogmas videos as I possibly can, so you've definitely already heard me talk about it. The book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is the Fairy Loot edition. Normally I will hold up the Illumicrate one because it has a slipcase and all of that, like it just feels fancier, but also this one is beautiful, so I thought it makes sense to show it in here. My only criticism of this book is that I don't like the gold lettering. Like, it's the magic system in here is based around silver work, and I feel like the writing should all be silver. Also, I don't like the look of silver and gold together, so it just irritates me a little bit. This is basically the regular cover, but just with a different colour scheme to it. On the regular colour scheme, the writing is black. I know that on the US cover, the writing is gold, so this is more like linked in with that, but I feel like it should have been silver. That is the only criticism I'm going to have of it, because the rest of it is stunning. So this is the front cover. We then have got this picture underneath on the naked hardcover. This is actually what is on the slipcase for Illumicrate. So we've got sort of like the best of both worlds, which I really like. We've also got some stunning character art. This is Letty and Victoire. And then on the back, we've got Rami and Robin. And I love these characters with my whole heart, and I think the artwork is stunning. But the prettiest part of this book is, once again, the sprayed edge. Look, what can we even call it a sprayed edge? It is a digitally printed edge, and it's actually got Babel like on the edges. It's so good. It's so pretty. I've just realised I've had it stored on my shelf like this way. It should definitely be stored this way, because like Babel, it's or Babel. I know I'm pronouncing it the American way, but Babel makes more sense in the context of the book. Anyway, stunning edition of Babel. I want a free that I own. I had the standard edition, I have the Illumicrate edition, I have the Fairy Loot edition, and hopefully at some point soon I will have the US edition. So, you know, just keep the collection growing. Speaking of books that I have a collection of, actually I thought I had more of these. I've only got two. This is only my second set of these, and my first set is like my regular paperbacks. These are my fancy ones. These are probably my favourite special edition book set that I've got this year, so I thought I would save it till last. It is, of course, this giant black box that you can barely see what it actually is. Let's see if we can. The Nevernight Chronicle by J. Christoph. So it's in this like faux leather effect box. This is from Litjoy, by the way. On here, I don't know if you can see that, it is the Coveri family crest, and then if we take them out of that box, they're in like a little organizer type thing. And again, on the side of here, we've got the Kaveri family crest. Let's show you the books. So, sprayed edges. Never flinch, never fear, never forget. Front covers, we've got, these never show up on camera very well, but Nevernight has a bird on the front of it. God's Grave has got eclipse on the front of there. And then our favourite Mr. Kindly on the front of Dark Dawn. And I'm not going to show you the inside of the second and the third one because they will have spoilers in there. But just to give you an idea of the first one, we have got beautiful artwork on the end papers. Signed tip-in pages that have also got artwork on them. Annotations from J. Kristoff throughout. And then some truly stunning artwork throughout there as well. And there is artwork throughout all three of these books. And I'm going to be rereading these soon. If you would like to know why, I have posted an announcement video about a certain read along that is happening soon. It will have, that announcement will have gone up sometime earlier on in Vlogmas. And I do plan on rereading using this set because I want to read all the annotations and get all the extra like little tidbits about the story as I go as well. So yeah. Very happy to have those ones. But that is everything. I think I've gushed enough about beautiful books that I own. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know what the prettiest book is that you hold this year, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.